Balagutade. Okay, you're welcome to Balagutade.
This is Coca Olaiwola, and then this is Ife Olani.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, we have been very busy moving around for the man, engineer, SHODEINDE, NURUDEEN, OLALEKAN. That's so many things about
So many lies, I guess.
so many lies. I don't think so. I can see through people who are lying, and they have nothing to lose. They've been pouring out their hearts.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, and but I think the very good place to start is to start from the very beginning. We started at the local government. How did that come about?
Well, honestly, as a young man, my father treasured education. And I wouldn't go through my educational journey now, but when I finished my master's, he told me that I should go and do my PhD. I told me, Daddy, I'm not ready to work. I'm ready to go back to, I've been reading all my life since I was a little boy. I need to start working. All my guys have been working since they finished their first degree. I need to start work. So we now had an agreement, a deal, kind of. Okay, go and work. I gave him a list of blue chip companies where I wanted to work. He said, if you don't have time you won't be able to leave and do your PhD program at the end of the day. But as you go and work in government, that you'll be more impactful, you have be able to have time to still go and do, they can give you a leave of absence to go and do your PhD program. So we had a deal, okay, I'll go to government. So luckily then, IBB was the president. He was doing the IBB SAP employment program. So I was employed, into the Federal Ministry of Works then. So we had our office at TBS on the island. So I was posted to the Flood and Erosion Control Division at Ije, Obalende. So I was there, we had a deal for me to work for 2 years. After 2 years, I'll go and start my PhD. So that was my first into government service. I started at the federal level, Federal Ministry of Works. So after about 4 months, thereabout, they now did a posting again from that division, Flood and Erosion Control Division. I was now taken to Calabar. So when I got to tell my dad that, sorry, I've been put to Calabar, and they said, we should be preparing to start relocation. I said, Mbo, where are you going? Calabar? Calabani. He said, don't worry. He answered, but you're not going anywhere. Me and you, we have got your PhD. You must be here to do it. So I think along the line, I started his own connection again. I think he now met, we had a neighbor that knows somebody somewhere, blah, blah, blah. So they said they were employing at the local government level. So I was invited for the interview. I went, and that was how it started. So I joined the local government, 18th of May, 1990. After spending about 6 months with the federal government at the Federal Ministry of Works. So after about 2 years, my father had passed on, and I started. It passed on November of that year. The year I joined local government service, my father passed on November 20th of that same year. Because I promised him I was going to do the PhD program. So I now went to enroll after 2 years for the PhD. So I started, I did everything I could do. I did the MPhil, the academic part of it, the MPhil part of it. But the project I had would require me traveling out, blah, blah, blah. But man, the old guy that was sponsoring me had died. So I couldn't finish. But I did the MPhil, and I got the MPhil, for my...
Research master's program.
Yeah, but I could not finish the PhD as well. So I was talking, and that's how I got local government level.
Interesting. Because I was wondering, from the man that has been described so eloquently by many people. I was like, why local government? Now I see the background. Okay. So you are going to help me because as I said, that Yoruba proverb, I said, oh, the phone I cannot know more than and then this is my mom who has been tailoring me. He has gotten me to a point that you are he has been very helpful to us. So I just wanted us to start with the career beginning, and that's what you have just done now. So, but having spent some time at the local government, so what did you see? What did that experience? What did it portray to you? How did you
Well, thank you very much. You can say that my advent into local government was accidental, like I explained earlier. But really and truly, it was a divinely guided journey. Because at that time, I remember the chairman of the Lagos Local Government Service Local Government Service Commission, Baba Louis, told us that they want to professionalize the local government. At that point, they were engaging young professionals. That 89-90, when we came in. Engineers, doctors, accountants, lawyers, PR, public relations people, across board, administrators, everybody, young. I think when I came in, 6 engineers were engaged about the same time, all fresh graduates from the university, and were posted to, I was taken to Ejuleke local government. A friend of mine, Mati, went to Etiosa, Ariyo went to Lagos Island, Adiyemi was posted to Ojo, Otinwa was posted to Shomolu, I think. Then the 6th person at Avowe was posted again. So Baba told us that, come, you guys, you actually had a meeting with all of us that we engaged you to bring young blood into local government level. And I can tell you that I spent 16 years there, from 1990 to 2006. I think that was quite impactful. It was my formative years. It brought the analytical part of my thinking, how you solve people's problems, because we are at the grassroots. I was thrown into the bush, Ibejuleki, in the 90s. Others were in the city. But me going to the bush was I thought it was a punishment. Why now, young boy, Lagos, why are you going to this bush? But I was living with the rural folks. We were solving their problems. At local government level, we were close to decision making. Whatever the state was doing, the chairman will cascade it down and we were the ones implementing. So it gave us responsibility early in life as young people to know that yes, government is not anything about service. Rudimentary, but that's what we're doing. High level directive that we are now the ones implementing at the local level. So that is what I saw at that, my doubt it was a big time for me at local government level. We were able to work with and we had very old senior technocrats, public servants, that had this old experience that we learned from. So we were really we entered the service and we were well tutored about governance then. Yeah.
I remember someone remarked about you. I remember somebody remarked about the water project that involved the World Bank, and then you were in Apapa local government, and then there is this notion that local government, and then until you came in, and then can you recount that experience for us?
Well, that has been I've met that all along my career line. When I came to the States, I had a boss that actually thought I couldn't use a laptop. I couldn't use a computer. As a national director level 15, when I was brought to Alausa, I had my laptop already. Because, like I said, we were professionals already as local government. We could use everything. But they believed that we were numbskulls, we know nothing. So they saw me working on my lab. Said, Shodi, you can use computer. I was amazed, well, why wouldn't I be able to use a computer? So, so that has been the way it is. But one thing we were trained at that level is to be, well, as an engineer, you're a solutions person. You don't wait to be told what to do. You don't need to copy anybody's solution. My calling as an engineer is for you to understand the problem and solve it. But that instant time, at that particular point in time, the solution World Bank was generic. It wasn't fit for purpose. We knew what the problems we were facing were at that time. But what do I bring in wouldn't solve it. And sorry, this won't work here. It's not what we want. So I had to take time to explain the problems that needed to be solved. The need of the people of the area that was being, given the project. Because oftentimes all these World Bank studies are done by foreigners, foreign consultants that have a small local arm. They are not drilling deep to know what people really want. But like I said, I started at local guard, the rural area, and I have this, interaction with the people. So at that point, I said, sorry, World Bank, I'm not going to be part of this because it's not going to solve the problem. And I wouldn't be part of a project that's a failure. So eventually, yeah, we had an engagement. Something happened, and the thing was adjusted somehow, and it was done. But I was bold enough to say, sorry, this won't work.
That's interesting. At that level, be able to look at World Bank, because I know a lot of people will cower and World Bank is the one speaking.
Kí ló fẹ́? Mo kọ̀ pé wọ́n ṣé wọ́n mi létí ni? Ṣé 3 ti lù ni?
321.
I'll call him, don't worry. Come on,
All right, so 16 years in the local government. So as at the time you were transiting to the state level, was it in the Ministry of Housing you started with?
Yeah. Okay, let me give you a short journey, my short trajectory, my career trajectory. We need to even know my academic trajectory too, but we'll get to that way.
You say I don't know why you say you don't want to talk about it.
No, well, you didn't ask me now. So I'm going to refer to your question. So you ask me, I'll answer you.
Okay.
So I started at the local government in 1990, like I said, May 18 rather. And I started with the Bejileki local government. I was there for like 4 years in the jungle, in the bush. That coastal was commissioned when we were there in 1991. We were using Land Rover under the coconut tree. I would take a bus from Morocco to Kaitore Junction, now take a Land Rover into our office there for 4 years. So that was, you can see a young man in his 20s starting that rough life. That was how I started. So after 4 years, I was moved to, at the point in time, I became the council engineer on level 9, level 10. I became a council engineer of that Ibejilek local government as a very young engineer. So this should ask a lot of load at a very, very, very tender age. So after 4 years in 1994, I was posted to Etiosa, in Ikoyi. After some time, I was posted to Apapa area office as the area engineer. I was there for a couple of years. From Apapa, I was moved to Surulere. As an area engineer, I was at Kokaguda area office. From Kokaguda area office, I was now elevated to being a proper council engineer. That's the head of the Works and Housing Department. Then I was taken to Upper local government where that situation occurred. So spent about 4 years there too. From Upper, I was then taken to Lagos Island. From Lagos Island, I went to Alimosho. From Alimosho local government, I went into when it was cutting to 57, and I came into the Alimosho that is now Alimosho now. Alimosho used to be 6. The 6 over 1, where we were at the Ikotun secretary, but now we now came to, I never saw here. Before I now came to Alausa, Secretary State of Government. When I got here in 2006, I started with Ministry of Housing. I was there for like 6 months to a year before I was working in the Ministry of Education as an engineer. Because education had a lot of projects then that they were doing, and they wanted to have some professional touch to it. So I was requested for, and I was posted there. I was there for like 2-3 years. I found myself being requested again to come to environment, Office of Drainage Services. I worked by a garden engineer, Hakim Ogubambi. It was not that I said, like, can you use a laptop? When I was working with him. So I was in drainage. I worked under Dr. Banire, who was the honorary commissioner then, for a couple of years. Then, after there are some changes at the ministerial at the headship. So I was now deployed to what we call Lagos State Wastewater Management Office. It was under BRF then, Babatunde Raji Fashola. He was the governor then. So we created that office out of the sewage department of the Ministry of Environment to look into the issue of wastewater sewage management in the state. So I went there as a coordinator. It was a green area for me, a new field, and we explored and we grew talent, we built capacity in wastewater infrastructure. For a project that could have been quite iconic if allowed to manifest, was the first of its kind in Nigeria, the wastewater treatment plant that we started at Odoyalaro. Well, nicely conceived, as best as we could, but fortunately the government, they could not finish it because subsequent administration, they didn't believe they didn't finish it. So it became stagnated, it was not concluded. When I left Laswamo, I found myself at Lasura, because Urban Renewal Agency, as the project director for the AFD project. I was there for a short stint when they were doing the feasibility and the planning of the project, but I didn't stay to implement it because I was then again moved to the Ministry of Works. To the Ministry of Works, where I was the director, project monitoring and enforcement training. Project Monitoring Enforcement Training Department. We, monitor all the projects, whatever in the ministry they're doing. It passes through us for us to check the quality as well as the quality control of the delivery on the project. So PMET was where I headed for like 2 years under Governor Ambode. But on request again, I was made the GM of LAPCA, with his 10 mandates that we have to turn around LAPCA. Because LAPCA was having serious issues there. Building collapses, non-conformity, so many issues in the build sector. So I was in LAPCA from 2017 to 2019. We tried our best, played our little role. So when the government of Mr. Governor, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, Olusegun Baba Jide came on board, I was initially made the GM of Office of Drainage Services. Why? Office of Drainage Services used to exist in the Ministry of Environment then, but when Mr. Governor came on board, he changed the name to Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. And he brought back, because under Ambode, Drainage Services was non-existent. It was moved out, it was, taken out of the main structure. It was taken to, what was this place called? Public Works Corporation as a department. But when Mr. Governor came on board, he brought ODS back. So for it to grow, he brought me back as general, because I was a GM in LAPCA. So he now brought me as GM, Office of Drainage Services. So we took some time to put the necessary infrastructure in place and structure so that we can take off back as an office in the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. So when we concluded that exercise, he now made me the permanent secretary of the Office of Green Services and Water Resources. So I was there until for like 4 years, in 2019 and 2023, early 2024. So I now got posted to Office of Urban Development in the Ministry of State Planning and Urban Development. So another new office that was just created out of the ministry. So we are supposed to be the ones to now put the right structure in place for it to work efficiently.